So, just quickly from last week, we're looking at holding the instrument, the positions of your left hand and your right hand. So we're looking at the 3 strokes that we have with our right hand. Upstroke, remember fingers together. Downstroke called Ra. And the Chikari stroke, which is the top. Hitting those strings at the top. So we've got Da, Ra, and if we play them fast, it's called Diri. But it's exactly the same motion. So up, down, and then a Chikari at the top. So we have that, and then we looked at the basic notes. If you look at that lesson 1, that's Sa, which remember is in between this. Well, there's a big gap here, just about your line of sight, and it's just to the other side of here. So that side, Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni, Sa. Sa, Ni, Da, Pa, Ma, Ga, Re, Sa. So we'll make sure that we get those notes correct. And it's quite good to learn the Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni, Sa, which is just like Do, Re, Mi. And then we had exercise 1, which was with this one, I'll tell you to keep that first finger down, really glide through it. Then exercise 2, 2 on each. And then straight down again from there. Exercise 3, which was the Jala. So what we do on this one, Sa, chick, 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 Sa. Straight up and straight down. Now the one thing you have to really concentrate on is being as relaxed as possible when you're playing. So really just try and drop your shoulders. The more relaxed you are, the nicer it sounds, but also the faster you'll be able to play. So that is basically lesson 1, and in lesson 1 I talked about practicing, and depending on how much time you've got, you just literally concentrate on that one exercise for 5 minutes in the day. So you say 5 minutes practice in one day, then you'll just go that one all the way up, all the way back down again for 5 minutes. So moving on to lesson 2. So lesson 2 is just loads of exercises. So as you can see, exercise 1, left hand. So it's all to do with your left hand, this. Whereas the lesson 1 was to do with your right hand. This lesson 2 is really about your left hand. So we have, first exercise. This is where it's good to try and learn the notes. So we got Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Ga, Re, Ga, Ma. So the most important thing about this is be able to use your first and second finger in the right place. So we got first, 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 second, first. So I'm only using my second finger when I've gone up as far as I'm going to go. So I'll zoom in. So second, second, and that's the pattern. So we'll do it again. Then we just shift up. Re, ga, ma, pa, hear me hitting my second string at the same time, and that's absolutely fine. It actually gives it a nice backing. So. Now on the way down, do that again. Sa, ni, da, pa, da, ni, da, pa. Once again, it's important to look at where I use my first and second fingers. So second. Then I use second finger here because we're going back down. Now, when you put down your second finger, do not take off your first finger. I'm exaggerating here, but we don't want to do this because that is just more work. There's no need for it. So we just, my first finger's down. So there's my first finger. It's kept down on the fret behind it. Then all I have to do is take off my second finger, put my second finger on while keeping my first finger down, because then all I do is just take off my second. So let's do the whole sequence. Sa, ni, da, pa, da, ni, da, pa, ni, da, pa, ma, pa. And that's it. That's the whole exercise. So if I do the whole thing. So you might think it's a bit confusing. I think the best way to look at it is in patterns. So when I'm playing, I see patterns. I can see now 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going up 4, down 2, up 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, down 2, up 2. Same here, down 4. And if you get used to using your second finger where it's supposed to be, it becomes a lot easier. So that's the whole point of the exercise, really, is to get this left hand moving. Once again, remember what I was saying last time? Let your fingers glide over the string. And if you need some coconut oil, remember, just dab your fingers in a bit of coconut oil, rub it over, and it should feel quite smooth. So your string should feel quite smooth. If it's not, it might be a bit rusty, then you will need to get some oil in it. So next exercise, exercise 2. This really gets your first and second finger moving. So we're jumping over, leapfrogging over. Miss one out. So ni, re, sa, ga, re, ma, ga, pa, ma, ga, pa, ni, ga, sa, ni, sa. So the one thing we don't want to see here is I'm exaggerating, of course, but just keep that first finger down all the time. So on the way down, let's have a look at the way down. So, sa, miss one out, da, ni, pa, ga, ma, pa, ga, ma, re, ga, sa, re, mi, sa. I'll do it again. keep that first finger down all the time. Exercise 3. So these are called subductans, and the hardest thing about the sitar, if you play the guitar, if you're doing your scales, you can go and across the strings like this. We can't do that. We've got this one string, and then we're going to go up and down. So this one is literally starting from the bottom. So we're going to introduce some more notes here as well. So we've had a look at sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, mi, sa. So we've had a look at those notes. Now, that note's from here, sa, going down the octave, or sorry, up the octave, down the neck of the instrument, but up the octave. And then we've had a look at those notes there. Now we're going to look at these frets. Let's move that down this way. So, sa. The one next to it is mi. In between the big peg and the small peg, da. And the second from last is pa. And then open is ma. So ma, pa, da, in between the big peg and the small peg. Ni, right next to sa. Then we're back. Re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa. Then, let's have a look at these frets at the top here. So then after sa, we'll play the next one, which is re, and the one after that, ga. So then we've got the whole length of the instrument now. We've got ma, open, pa, da, mi, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, mi, sa, re, ga. So, exercise 3 is just that. And this time it's quite difficult because we haven't done this yet, where it's going to be one stroke, one note. As in, so one stroke, one note, up, down, up, down. So, it's quite difficult because you're having to navigate all the way up. First finger, top, second finger, then first all the way down. So, exercise 4. So this is very similar to the first exercise number 1. Slight variation. Why a variation on that and quite close together? Because a lot of patterns that you play on the sitar can be pretty similar to one another. But you have to train your ear to differentiate between different patterns. And those different patterns will give you different phrases when you come to improvise, and that means that your playing won't all sound the same. So, for argument's sake, you could go, okay, you go, so what I'm now looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I could differentiate between between 2s, 3s, and 4s, and maybe even 5s. So that enables me to, when I'm improvising, or even I can write it down and compose it, I can use all these different patterns. So this pattern is sa, re, ga, re, sa, re, ga, ma. So, 1, Once again. First, first, second, first, 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 second. So you can get used out up 3, down 3, up 4. Then move it. So what you're doing, we just call it transposing. So you're starting here. Remember that phrase and that pattern, and just shift your fingers along. So instead of starting here, starting here. Ga, ma, pa, ma, ga, ma, pa, da, ma, pa, da, pa, ma, pa, da, ni. Last one. On the way down. So, sa, ni, da, ni, sa, ni, da, pa. Again. With the fingering, second, first, all this, second, first, first, first. Next one, da, pa, ma, pa, da, pa, ma, ga. Start pa.